Welcome to Sportsline, brought to you by Ace Hardware, New Kensington, AKLC Studios in Leechburg, Arnold Furniture, 5th Avenue, Buffalo Bills, New Kensington, Fazio's Deli and Meats in Arnold, Highland Tire, Toronto and Natrona Heights, Mattio's Pizza and Subs, Brackenridge Heights, Resevich Family Funeral Homes, Lower Burl in Arnold, 380 Discount Warehouse, Murraysville, Tower Auto in Blawnox, and Westmoreland Insurance Services of New Kensington. Sportsline Trivia. Here we are on, another week of exciting sports has gone by. And Mike Pavlik joins me tonight. Mike, I don't know what is going to happen here to get the Steelers, not first and foremost again in the minds, but, you know, they have taken now the back seat to the Pirates.
Well, baseball season's going to have to be over before that happens, one way or the other.
But it wasn't always that way.
Well, but the Pirates always stunk. That's why. When the Pirates,
that's the problem.
The Pirates are good, and the Steelers right now aren't. So, if you did, the Pirates are, I don't know if I would say good, but the Pirates are in contention for a playoff spot. They're ahead. They have 2 weeks to go, and they have a series with Milwaukee coming up this weekend, which will probably. And then again, a series with Atlanta right after that. So yeah, it's right in front of them.
And the Pirates only have to win 3 more to get to 82 wins.
Oh, there's something.
And that would be the second
2 years in a row. We can start a new streak.
So anyway, welcome to the show. The number 724-236-0430, and we already have a couple of folks ready to go. So let's take a look at rules and regulations on winning prizes on the program. You don't have to participate in that segment of it, but most of them do.
Sure.
But in case you're, sitting at home and saying to yourself, gee, I don't want to bother with it. Don't bother with it, okay? All right, you can win a prize every other week at your household address, every other week. However, in looking at some of the prizes, like the Grand Salami or the Mystery Profile, you can only win once in a calendar month. In fact, the Mystery Profile, you can only try once a month. Multiple choice questions are 15 seconds, Grand Salami at 20, Mystery Profile, clue by clue. We try to get that in quick. Quick, first-time callers, 2 or more prizes are yours. And if we're really feeling generous, you'll get a third, okay? All right, the answers to the trivia questions can be found on my website, which is doubledribblebob.com. I invite you to check it out. By the way, I now have written 1,700 one-minute stories. Building up, Mike.
Yeah, that's 1,700 minutes.
Yep. Let's see. Divide that by 4. I've been doing 4 stories a week, divided by 4, and that's how many weeks I've got in. It's well over, 425? Mm-hmm. 425 weeks. So anyway, my radio show Saturday morning, WAVL 910 on the AM dial, and it's all on sports history and sports nostalgia. All right, we're 4 minutes into the show. Let's take a break, come back here with caller number 1. Stay with us, folks. Don't go away.
Do drop in on Freeport Road in Natrona Heights as 20-ounce Bud Light drafts for just $2 during all Steelers games. Stop by the Do Drop In on Freeport Road and enjoy a cold Bud Light. Here we go.
Westmoreland Insurance Services isn't like your ordinary insurance agency. Not only can you get a variety of quotes from leading insurance companies, but you can purchase that protection through Westmoreland Insurance. Accidents happen. Are you prepared? You can be with a wide range of homeowners insurance options from Westmoreland Insurance Services, putting your family's safety in their family's hands for almost 40 years. Give them a call, 724-337-3557. My first book on sports is available not only through the internet, but at various local businesses in the AK Valley. It's Bob Tattern's Sports Minutes. Short sports stories, odd and unusual, fascinating and funny, only take about a minute to read. Go online to doubletripplebob.com, where links are provided for Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Word Association to get book information. Get your copy locally at Costello Printing in Tarentum, Blackburn's in Tarentum, Myrna's Brewery Outlet in New Kensington, or the Hot Dog Guys Lower Borough.
What is it that makes a Husqvarna dealer a Husqvarna dealer? Well, just look close at the engineering in our outdoor power equipment. We're known for high performance and reliability in everything we make. So is it any wonder your Husqvarna dealer is also known for high performance and reliability in everything they do? With a nationwide network of Husqvarna dealers, there's one just around the corner.
Mogi's Irish Pub on Leechburg Road in Lower Borough has 16-ounce Bud Light aluminum bottles for just $2.75 during all Steelers games. Stop by Mogi's Irish Pub on Leechburg Road and enjoy a cold Bud Light. Here we go.
Well, if you're heading out to kick some tires on some pre-owned automobiles, make sure that you go to Tower Auto Sales in Blawnox. They have the best in product, the best selection, best customer communication, and best service after the sale. Try them out. Call Mike Fanto at 412-828-6202 and just buy it at Tower Auto Sales. Okay, let's jump to the phones. We're going to grab Tony as the leadoff man. Tony, good evening.
Hey guys, how are you?
Great.
Sound good tonight.
Good. You sound good too.
Yeah.
This is, we got to write down how we did this. We have a good connection
It's been this
tonight.
way for about 3 weeks now. It's been absolutely glorious. I'm deaf normally, so this is beautiful. It needs to be loud for me.
No, okay. Steelers
Yes.
went out and spent $137 million during the off season for some free agencies, rookies they signed, and some of the guys they had. What a waste of money.
Yeah, it looks like it so far.
Yeah. They don't know talent. I come to the conclusion they know nothing about talent.
All right, let me ask you a question, Tony, because on our list, do we have our list or do I have it here? I think I've got it.
It's somewhere.
If you had, yeah, I have it here. All right, you picked 9 and 7 at the beginning of the year. Now, of course, you can't change it now for the purpose of the contest, but
Well, I called in after, said I wanted to pick 0 and 16, but I couldn't do that either. But that's all right.
Yeah, you're locked in.
But if I had a chance to do it, is that what you're going to tell me?
yeah, that's what
You're
I'm
going to ask
asking.
me? What I'd pick? Let me see. Probably, this is really
3 and 13.
4 and 12.
4 and 12.
I'd probably go to about 7 and 9 right now, but I need to see another game. I need to see another 2 games because there's
You really do? You really want to see another game?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'll tell
Okay.
you what,
No
I
problem.
think-
It'll be on Sunday.
I think they're going to lose Sunday, but
Oh, I guarantee you, it probably will. I
But
mean,
still-
of course, don't forget now, Tomlin's in the lab with all his test tubes and
I
everything.
think they're going to lose Sunday, but I still think that they put a string together after that.
Put a string together.
Well, my originally when I went down through the schedule, I had them losing against Baltimore and losing against Carolina, so
Yeah. Well, if they put a string together, it'll probably be 2 cans on each end so they can communicate.
It's a little
Because that's what it's like.
yeah.
It's I don't know. It's awful. I mean, there's nothing there, offense or defense. You figure, the defense is went sour, and it's been going sour. And you figure, well, at least we have this offense and a no huddle. Well, a no huddle don't make a difference. We look lousy.
Yeah,
And Ben looks lousy.
He played badly. against Baltimore, and frankly, he was kind of on and off against Cleveland too, especially in the second half. But
Well, hey, didn't I say that? Didn't I say that every year? He doesn't get enough work, and he comes in and he looks lousy.
they have to score.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, he needs work. So I don't know.
If they want to win, they have to score. Here's the stat about the defense. You ready for this? They missed 16 tackles against Baltimore. And out of those 16 tackles, there were 93 extra yards the Baltimore gained, which was 29% of their total. So basically, nearly a third of the yards the Baltimore gained was off Pittsburgh missed tackles. I don't care how lousy of a football player you are, and most of of this is that they're missing tackles because they aren't very good. I mean, I think that's pretty much the way I look at it. But missed tackles are correctable, and it's something you can do that, and you could get crisper and cleaner. And at least if you're in position to make the play, you have to make the play. And even if they catch a ball, even if they catch passes, and the defensive backs and linebackers you have to tackle the catch. You can't give yards after. And if they do that, it won't look as bad as it's looked. Now, they're still not going to be good defensively. They're not. But they're also not helping themselves out just doing the fundamental plays that even below average football players should be able to do at this level, and they're not doing that right now.
Nope. Now, the no-huddle offense is pathetic. The no-huddle offense is to keep the defense from putting in players in and out, from confusing him, from getting him tired. If you watch some of the teams that run it well and supposed to and run it like it should be, the other team doesn't have a chance. I mean, here we go. We line up, and here's Ben taking it down. 4, 3, 2, 1, snap.
I agree with you. I think if you're going to run it, I think you need to pick up the tempo. I think you need to pick the pace up.
Not only could the defense adjust, they could bring half the crowd down and put them on the field and put them back up again before the ball snap, let alone their team in and out. I mean, it's I don't know.
Yeah, you're giving them so much time, they can substitute. And
that's what I'm saying. They can bring half the stadium down on the field and get them back up before the ball snap.
And the other thing, too, is that, and the Steelers a lot of times will run a play, and then they'll go no huddle, and then they'll make a substitution. Well, the minute that the offense makes a substitution, the umpire goes and stands out over the ball, and you're not allowed to snap it until they've had a chance to match that. And you just defeated your purpose there.
Well, that's right. That's what they do. Everything they have down there is defeated.
Well, I'm no Haley fan. You know that. So.
Yeah, so we get off that dead horse. Triple play, huh?
It was awesome, wasn't it?
Turn the game around, Tony.
Oh, yeah, but not only that, you don't see that very often.
Not that kind.
It's rare.
No, around the horn? No, you don't.
Well, it started with the third baseman very close to the third base. Period.
Yeah, well, that's how it has to happen. You got to be very close.
You almost got to be looking, half hedging against the bunt to make that play, and that's kind of what.
Yeah. And well, I always said, I said, man, there should be more than it because if the third baseman is playing by the bag, but they never seem to hit it when he's playing by the bag, except for yesterday.
And I'll tell you what, you don't see the third baseman by the bag as much anymore because nobody bunts anymore either.
Yeah, well, ain't that the truth? Especially the Pirates don't bunt at all. Well, they don't know how to bunt.
Well, they don't know how, especially their pitchers are horrible.
Oh, my God. It's that, you're a pitcher. You can't hit as it is. Please, learn how to bunt at least.
Bob Prince always used to make this point that a lot of the pitchers' wins had to do with not necessarily how they pitched, but helping themselves out in other areas, moving a runner over, getting a bunt down, and fielding your position. That those were very important things as a pitcher, and especially now in the National League when pitchers, it's the only place they get to hit on a regular basis.
Yep, and they call that fundamentals
you
of baseball.
have to be able to execute. Why do you think, Greg Maddux was a great pitcher, but Greg Maddux won.
He had gold gloves coming out of.
Greg Maddux won more gold gloves than anybody.
I think he had 15.
Oh, yeah.
He had 15.
That's right.
He fielded his position. He was able to get bunts down. He could put the bat on the ball.
Yeah, he could hit, he was all around. I mean, I don't know, the pitcher, how much does he have to do if he's not pitching or anything? Go down to the batting cage. Get somebody to help you. Learn how to put the bat on the ball at least. They are pathetic.
Yeah, and and these games are so close, and believe me, they play a lot of close games. They play a ton of one-run games that can turn on something like that.
And now is the most important part of the season, where that bunt could win you them close games, or
everything's magnified.
Or somebody that steals, steal a base, and it. Polanco got on. This was a week ago or so. He got on for first base, and Mercer's up, one of the best contact hitters they have. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He has Mercer buttoning him over to second instead of, hey, let him steal the base.
Or hit and run.
Either one.
I like Mercer hit and run. I mean, he used that a lot last year, and Mercer would just shoot that ball through the hole on the right side, and you'd have first and third before you could play. That was Tim Foley's claim to fame. Moreno stole a lot of bases, but they hit and run a lot. Okay. Now, were you watching Saturday night when Locke was pitching?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is on a hurdle, and this sent me. I lost my mind. They're losing 3-0 in the fifth inning. And Locke had already thrown in the area of 88 pitches.
Oh, yeah.
And he let him bat in the bottom of the fifth inning in a game they were losing 3-0 when you have 100 guys in the bullpen and 100 guys on the bench in September. What the heck was he doing? And he got one more guy out. He let two guys get on base, got one out, and there's Hurdle gimping out there to take him out of the game. It's like, you got to be kidding me.
No, that's him.
Manages the game. These games are a little bit different than they are. This isn't May anymore. Each game is so important now and magnified.
So critical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tony, there was another part of the game that Bob Walk got involved with commentary. It was a call made by an umpire on a stolen base where he was out.
Right.
Clearly.
I did not see that. I heard that on the radio, but they even on the radio said that it was so obvious and they couldn't.
So the Cubs say, no, we want a replay.
Mm-hmm.
They looked at it from out of how many angles, and they finally get one that say, there's no question, the guy is out.
Well, yes.
They take the headsets off and they give the
know.
safe sign. What is the, in other words, if the umpire had called him out and the Pirates are looking to say, no, we were safe, different story. But the umpire was the guy on top of the plate. You got to overturn the call.
And then yesterday,
enough evidence, and there wasn't.
And then yesterday, you had the play at first base where the umpire said that the Cubs' first baseman came off the bat.
Yeah.
And they reviewed it, and he overturned it with no
evidence at all that
none.
He was on the bag or off the bag.
No evidence at all.
You couldn't tell. So if that's the case, then he's safe. It's the umpire's call.
I don't. The NFL could use some good publicity, so I'm going to give them a little bit right now. The way they do their replay is so much better. Now, they've been doing it for a lot longer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they were pretty bad at times years ago,
sure,
but now they've improved.
They really have. The thing that I give them credit for is that if you can't see clear
that's right.
evidence that the call that was made is wrong, they stick with the call.
Yeah, if you can't see it to overturn it, then it stays with you're right. It stays with the official call.
And the problem in baseball is, and they've even made improvements this year in football. They've kind of gone to more of a hockey type system where they're going to have where the head of officiating now is watching all of it, and the minute something happens, he goes over and he is personally involved in each call, which is a good thing. The problem with baseball now is what they're doing is you get different reads on these calls each series because there is an umpiring crew is not on the field is making these calls. Baseball needs to get one supervisor, former umps, fine. Former umps that graded out high that aren't on the field anymore, fine, no problem with that. Or supervisors, or somebody, old man, I don't even care, but it's the same sets of eyes looking at these all the time so that you have some sort of structure as to how they call them, and I think that would be an improvement I would suggest for next year.
Now, if they don't correct this over the winter, then there's something wrong.
Right. I'll tell you what, it's better now than it was in April. There's no doubt about that. They've cleaned up some things, and now they're trying to clean up the home plate thing, which I think is just a disaster. If you're that worried about the 1 or 2 times a year that a catcher gets run over, well then why don't we just make it like it is at any other base, and you just have to swipe the tag on them, and that's it. To just make it like any other base. But,
yeah, you're right.
Or make it like first base, let the guy run through and you swipe at him or something.
Tony, we're out of time. We've got to
jump
to trivia.
One thing, Robert.
Yes, sir.
I put a free gift out there about 3 weeks ago or better.
Hasn't been claimed.
Yeah.
And nobody's claimed it, and I can't believe it. We must be really rich in this part of the country that we don't need anything free. So if nothing goes tonight, mail it to me. There's some homeless people I'll give it to. That's just unbelievable. All right, let's go to trivia.
Pick a number.
All right. I got from 1 to 5 like I always have. All right. Hey, what the heck? Let's pick number 1.
you want to do it, Mike?
Sure.
All right. Mike, let me put one pin in so far.
I don't.
Did you feel that one?
I don't think.
Oh,
I don't think
Bob,
it's,
I can't see on here where you put that. And I don't like it there.
I don't think it's going to work.
Go ahead.
Give it a shot, Mike.
I think you might get this one.
Now, here we go with this skit that you jinxed me already, buddy. Nice.
Sorry. Who is the only major leaguer to hit 50 home runs in a season in both leagues? The only major league player to hit 50 home runs in a season in both leagues. Those would be the American and National League.
Yeah, I guess. 50 home runs at both leagues. So many guys crossed over. How about, I don't know.
5 seconds.
All right. I don't know. Jose Canseco?
Oh, God, was that close. How about his partner in crime,
Oh, no.
Mark McGwire?
Mark McGwire.
Mark McGwire did it with Oakland and St. Louis.
Yeah.
Creatine aided, at least creatine. Maybe more things, who knows?
It's two close ones
That was,
in a row.
Exactly.
Oh, well.
Well,
right.
but at least you know you're sharp.
Yeah, I'm close,
You
but
hit it?
it's a bit outside, as Bob
hit it
Uecker would say.
good. You hit it good. There just happened to be a man there.
All right.
All right, guys. Hey, have a good one. We'll talk to you again.
Thanks,
Tony, take care. Chris is coming up after the commercial break. Stay with us. Sportsline Trivia returns in a moment. Welcome to Buffalo Bill's Roadhouse, the place for big appetites. Their great sandwich selection includes the Geronimo, piled high with generous portions of meat and fixings. Their barbecue ribs are the best in town. Half rack or full rack, they don't come better. Buffalo Bill's wings are everybody's favorite. Uniquely oven-baked, not deep-fried, and yet so crispy. Your choice of 13 flavored seasonings. Grab a bucket for the big game. Eat in or take out, credit cards accepted. Buffalo Bill's Roadhouse, Freeport Road, New Kensington, across from Faldarelli Square.
For over 38 years and 3 generations, Arnold Furniture has been the area's favorite furniture store. We have over 4 floors of living rooms, dining rooms, recliners, bedding, carpeting, and so much more.
You'll always find friendly personal service from one of the family.
And our prices consistently beat the competition, plus free local delivery and free setup guaranteed. Visit Arnold Furniture online at arnoldfurnitureinc.com or stop in and see us today.
AKLC Studios LLC is the place for your video and multimedia needs. Let AKLC Studios produce a unique television commercial for your business. At your location or in our studios, we're here to meet your needs. Ever want your own television show? Let us show you how. AKLC Studios LLC can even tape your special events and weddings. Whatever your multimedia need, call AKLC Studios LLC in Leechburg today. Professional quality at hometown prices. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
And if you're wondering, where can I go to get some great pizza and maybe a nice sandwich, let me suggest Matteo's Pizza and Subs in Brackenridge Heights. Matteo's Pizza with their signature Ironman hoagie is very popular, and everything on their menu is made with quality, fresh ingredients. Try them. Matteo's. Let me give you the phone number here for Matteo's, 724-904-7312. Let's go to the phones again. Thank you for tuning us in, and let's say good evening to Chris.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Mike. How you guys?
Okay.
Good, Chris.
I think the Steelers are going to take the turn. The Pirates did not have a long-time win or long-time Super Bowl.
I don't know about Super Bowl, but I thought you were going to say a non-winning season.
Maybe it might be a non-winning season. Who knows? But my thoughts are maybe they ought to get rid of Tomlin.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen this year, and I don't think if they don't make the playoffs again this year, that would be 3 years in a row. I think he'd still be safe, and then I think you go into next year, and then maybe the seat would get a little. Everybody talks about the hot seat. It might get a little hotter then, but I don't think yet.
Well, I mean, they put the threats to Clint Hurdle, and look what happened now 2 years in a row. Maybe sometimes you got to put a threat to somebody financially.
I don't know that they. What are you claiming they did?
I mean, when they told us Hurdle he might be fired if he didn't bring home a championship.
Well,
I don't know that they ever told him that. I think it's understood. I don't think these guys need to be told. They know pretty much that at any time they could be let go.
I mean, is it just like hired at will, just like anything else, or no? Or is that a type of different situation?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. They don't like to fire these guys because if they fire them, they still got to pay them. So, if you have a 5-year contract and 2 years into that 5-year contract you get fired, you can sit at home for 3 years and collect that paycheck. So.
Well, that must be nice. That's what they got to do with the rest of the people that they're laid off right now.
Right, exactly. So the teams don't like, as much as you might think that, and sometimes people will wonder, well, why aren't they getting rid of this guy? That has a lot to do with it, a contract situation and how many years they're going to have to pay and how many coaches you're willing to pay at one time. Look at the Penguins. The Penguins are paying Bilesman this year, and they're going to pay the guy that is actually coaching the team. So that's 2 coaches.
And I just wondered what's going to go on with Bilesman.
He's not connected with anybody yet, is he?
No.
So he's just collecting a paycheck just like we.
Oh,
like
yeah.
On unemployment.
Yeah. Yep. It's guaranteed, Chris.
It's guaranteed those contracts are, so he's not actually unemployed. And plus, you can do that. He will collect whatever the Penguins owe him this year, and he can go out and get another job in another field. Now, the minute he goes out and gets a coaching job, well, then that voids the voids the contract of the coaching contract that he has. But he can go on TV, and he'll make what the TV station pays him, the network, and he'll make what the Penguins owed him to coach this year.
Oh, that sounds good if you can get something like that.
Nice work if you can get it, you bet.
Yeah.
All right, Chris.
Can I have multiple choice, please?
All right, my shot.
It is.
We start tonight with question number 5, and here we go. Question number 5. Who is the only 20-year career pitcher with less than 100 wins to his credit? In other words, I'm not talking Hall of Fame, I'm just talking about any pitcher who has been in the majors or was in the majors for at least 20 years that didn't win 20 games, and there's only one guy. All right, your options are Jack Quinn, Jamie Moyer, Jesse Orozco, and Satchel Paige.
I'm going to go with Satchel Paige.
Well, unfortunately, he may have had many years in baseball, but it was not in the majors. The correct answer, Jesse Orozco, who pitched for in excess of 20 years and won 87 games, and that was it.
The most appearances in history, actually, over 2,000, all out of the bullpen.
All right, talk to you later, Bob.
All right.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Again, the number 724-236-0430. Let's go to Mr. Tampa Bay, and good evening, sir.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Great.
Hanging in.
Hey, this Adrian Peterson, I think he should be suspended just as well as Ray Rice. Hitting a kid is worse than hitting a woman, and I think the NFL needs to come down on him as well. Even though his trial date won't be until 2015, I think the NFL needs to set the example. All the people doing domestic violence, Ed Hardy, the San Francisco guy, they should be suspended without pay and not playing for 2014, period.
Well, what you say makes a whole lot of sense, except, first of all, I don't know which is worse. I'm not going to quantify that hitting a child is worse than hitting a woman. Hitting neither is good, and hitting neither is acceptable. Now, a spanking on a kid, well, that's one thing, and I think we were probably all spanked once or twice when we were kids and pretty much worked out all right for us, but he went over the top, and we agree there 100%. If you look at the injuries on this kid, a 4-year-old kid, that the pictures weren't taken until a week later when it was found out by the mother, that's going to tell you how badly this kid was beaten. Now, the holes in your theory, Mr. Tampa Bay, are there's a union to consider. There's due process of the law to consider. There are courts and things to consider. The longest that a team can actually continue to deactivate a player for disciplinary purposes is only 4 games. So they deactivated Peterson yesterday and could deactivate him for 3 more weeks, and then that's all they can do, the team. That's it. That's all they got. Now, they've activated him, and he's going to play Sunday.
Right.
I think that's iffy. I'm not disagreeing with you on your premise. I'm just saying that there are more things to consider than just, okay, here's what we're going to do, and we're going to bring the hammer down on these guys. I don't know what Roger Goodell can and can't do right now. Where's he been for the last X amount? Today he came out and appointed, I believe, 4 different women to basically a high-ranking position in the NFL office to help him with such matters. Probably a PR move more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But exactly how much power is he wielding right now? What could he do to Adrian Peterson right now? I don't know what his situation is. Is he basically going to take a back seat to all these things that happen until the investigation is finished into the Ray Rice matter? I don't know.
By the way, Mr. Tampa Bay, speaking of the Ray Rice matter, what do you think of the situation in Baltimore where a lot of these women who went to the game had his jersey? We're showing support for the guy.
I approve it. I think he's a good football player, and I think it's a double standard, and I hope he gets reinstated here within a year and sign up with the Dallas Cowboys because they always go after the bad guys anyway.
I thought that was Cincinnati.
Or the Oakland Raiders. But the Raiders used to. It's probably half their problem. They don't have as many as they used to. Well, he placed his appeal today, and the union has to back him. They have no choice because it's in the collective bargaining agreement, and it is their job. Now, we'll see what happens. I don't know. An appeal to this doesn't go to Goodell. It goes to different appeals board that they have that are like former coaches, former players. I think Art Shell might be one of them, somebody like, guys like that. So they're there to hear the appeal. Now, I don't know if they're going to be able. Now, it's an indefinite suspension. It's not a lifetime suspension. There's a difference. He's just suspended for now until they. Now, I think he'll be suspended for the rest of this year, and I think that that's fair. But I don't know if he's going to be allowed back or not. And I think a lot of what's going on right now is being driven by public pressure and not necessarily what is spelled out in a collective bargaining agreement, in an agreement between players and their own union and with the league. So I think that a lot of this is really fluid and up in the air right now in this situation. And the appeal, the grievance has been filed, and we'll see where it takes us.
Right. 2 more things. The Steelers. Can I change my?
Nope.
No.
Can I go 3-13?
See, here's the problem. Everybody's so impatient. It's like it's 2 games.
They have no defense. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
Maybe. It probably will. I don't think they're going to win this week, but that doesn't mean I still don't think they're going to be decent. I don't know.
Be thankful the baseball's still going on. I just wish the Cardinals would lose so the Pirates could get on that.
Well, here's what happens.
In the last series.
Here's what happens this week, Tampa. The Pirates play the Red Sox early part of the week. Milwaukee is at St. Louis for 3, and Atlanta is hosting Washington for 3. So
the bigs against the bigs.
Right. Milwaukee's playing St. Louis. Somebody's going to lose. If the Pirates, it's one of those series where the Pirates need to sweep. If the Pirates win 3 games against the Red Sox, good things are going to happen on the other end in some direction, and it'll help them out.
If Pirates take 3 games from the Red Sox, Milwaukee takes 3 games from the Cardinals, Pirates are in first place by 2.5 games, and the Braves lose 3 games to the Nationals, they're out of the wild card.
They're pretty much, well, they wouldn't be first by 2.5 games. They're 2.5 back right now, or 3.5 back, so they'd still be a half out. But they'd be closer. And they have a series against Milwaukee this weekend in Pittsburgh. So.
Okay. Well, hey, guys, it was nice talking to you. I already won last week.
All right.
And I'll call next week.
All right. Appreciate it very much.
We'll talk Buccaneers football.
Okay.
Yep. Bye-bye.
All right. Have a good week. We do have a break.
We do. We can do that.
And I want to check into something here with the Boston Red Sox, their annual payroll.
Well, here's the thing, and before you do, and before we go to the break, how about this with the Red Sox? They finished, 2 years ago, they finished last. Last year, they won the World Series. And this year, they're going to finish last. Would you sign up for that? Is that something, as a Pirate fan, you would sign up for? A last-place finish, a World's Championship, and then another last-place finish. I wonder how the Red Sox fans feel about that. I think I might take that.
In and out, in and out.
I might take that just for the one chance to win the whole thing.
All right, folks, we're going to take a break. Mike and I will be back in a flash. Again, the number 724-236-0430. Stay with us.
Mogi's Irish Pub on Leechburg Road in Lower Borough has 16-ounce Bud Light aluminum bottles for just $2.75 during all Steelers games. Stop by Mogi's Irish Pub on Leechburg Road and enjoy a cold Bud Light. Here we go.
This is where you get the absolute freshest deli meats and cheeses. Fazio's Italian Deli in Arnold. At Fazio's, you're getting only the best and freshest selection. Fazio's has its own bakery and offers you fresh baked bread, rolls, pastries, and more. Pick up individual salads to go, Italian sausages, hoagies, custom-made sandwiches, even party trays for your next get-together. Freshness and quality every time at Fazio's Italian Deli, Leishman and Dre in Arnold.
There once was a hungry road that wouldn't let drivers get very far. It wore out their tires, forcing them to buy new ones. Then along came the Michelin Man who proved the right tire changes everything. With long-lasting tires in place, those drivers were back on the road to saving money. Drive longer with the Michelin Defender tire, backed by a 90,000-mile limited warranty. Michelin, a better way forward.
Available at Highland Tire under the bridge in Tarentum and Freeport Road in Natrona Heights. Westmoreland Insurance Services isn't like your ordinary insurance agency. Not only can you get a variety of quotes from leading insurance companies, but you can purchase that protection through Westmoreland Insurance. Westmoreland provides a full range of coverage for all of your automobile needs. Westmoreland Insurance Services, putting your family's safety in their family's hands for almost 40 years. Give them a call, 724-337-3557.
Do drop in on Freeport Road in Natrona Heights as 20-ounce Bud Light drafts for just $2 during all Steelers games. Stop by the Do Drop In on Freeport Road and enjoy a cold Bud Light. Here we go.
And if you're going to do some shopping for a pre-owned vehicle, check out the 3 indoor showrooms you'll find at Tower Auto Sales in Blawnox. It's a full-service facility. Everything you need for an automobile is there. They have an experienced staff, they have all makes and models to talk to you about, and they feature Lexus products. That's their specialty. Tower Auto Sales. As you know, they say just buy it. Call Mike Fanto at 412-828-6202. Okay, we have, who's on the line now?
Rich.
Rich, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
You want to change your Steeler prediction as well?
Oh, no, I still have confidence in them.
There you go.
Wait a minute. You said 12-4?
Right.
Well, they can only...
But there's only 2 games.
That's right.
We got 12, we got 14 more.
We'll see. It's still early.
Hey, I'm with you. I hope they do win them all.
I don't like what I've seen, but I'm willing to wait.
Well, they're young. They're going to mature as each week goes on.
That's what I'm hoping for.
You know what's painstaking is watching the guys that you love to watch make the big plays that are slowing down. Polamalu, among others.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Well,
it's
we've been through this once before.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out so well in the 80s afterwards, and I'm a little afeared that we may be going down that same road again here.
Well, hopefully they'll come around. Hey, on Pitt, there was 3 safeties in that game. When's the last time you've seen that?
I can't remember. Hillgrove even said it on the radio. He goes, he'd been doing the game since the early 70s, and he can't remember 3 safeties. Yeah. That was a strange day all the way around, Rich. I don't know. There wasn't a very big crowd. First of all, it looked like they were playing in a tennis stadium.
Yeah.
There weren't any people there. They had a lightning delay. They fell behind 16-0, like right out of the gate, and then all of a sudden they said, "Okay, we guess we'll start to get going here."
You know, talk about strange beginnings. I had a high school game Friday, which was at Burrell, and for whatever reason, they didn't have a third man to run the sticks. You get the first down marker, and then you got the lead stick and the back stick. They were one man short, and they kicked off just a couple of minutes beyond, maybe 4. I don't think it went to 5 minutes, but nonetheless, they started out with a 5-yard penalty. And it's a good thing they called it. I mean, I didn't want to see Burrell start with a penalty, but when was the last time you saw something like that?
Well, to start the game because they started late because they were late to get a stick guy out there. Okay, I don't know that I've seen that one. I'll tell you what I have seen. I've seen in the last few years a 5-yard penalty at halftime because the band took too long. and they didn't get the band off the field in time.
I think the penalty should be 15 yards.
And when the officials were ready to start to put the 3 minutes on for the warm-up period before you get ready to start the second half, and the band was still on the field, and the clock was showing zeros, and the band was still out there, the flag went out of the referee's pocket, 5-yard penalty. Now, I've also seen in basketball a technical foul called for someone dunking in warm-ups.
I've seen it twice. I've seen it twice.
So
and
those are your out-of-control craziness that goes along. And we have lightning delays in high school games, too. But it has been a while, and so far, weather's been really nice so far this year on Friday nights. We've really skirted by. So what'd you think of the Panthers, Rich? They 3-0 start, which is the first time.
When they beat Boston College, nobody was giving them a chance. They said they didn't play anybody, but now Boston College knocks off USC.
Yes.
Now they're playing somebody now.
And we're going to learn a lot this Saturday against Iowa. It's not the best Iowa team, but it's an Iowa team that is always formidable. They'll bring a lot of fans with them, and it'll be interesting to see what Pitt has. My biggest concern for them right now is I'm still not sure about their defense, number one. And number two, I'm still not sure about their quarterback. And I think I need to see, I hope I don't have to, but there's going to come a time when they're going to be behind, and can Wojcik bring them back throwing the ball? And that's what I'd like to see. I'm still a little shaky on him. I thought it was a little weird that Chris pulled him out in the fourth quarter like he did for that one series and put Anderson in. I just thought that was a little strange.
Well, his running looked pretty good. If he can keep that up.
He did it twice on those.
He had over 100 yards, right?
Yeah, he did. He just basically tucked it under and ran. It was basically sweeps. Nothing complicated. And he does have good legs. He can run the ball. There's no doubt about that. I think his passing's a little suspect. And I think a lot of that has to do with, I'm not sold on their group of receivers. You have Boyd, who's fabulous, and he's going to play on Sundays. But after that, I think the drop-off's pretty big.
I just hope Connors don't get hurt, because he's going to be toting the pigskin for a long time.
Yeah, he's going to be another Shady McCoy in the pros, I think. This guy is a different kind of runner, and hopefully he tips better. But,
hey, is Wanstad out of coaching now?
He is. He's on TV. If you saw him on...
yeah, I saw him, and I didn't recognize him at first. But
about today's comments.
His little halftime rant taking a slap at Steve Peterson I thought was pretty funny. He had me cheering, that's for sure.
Hey, tomorrow the Milwaukee's going to St. Louis.
Right.
And Pittsburgh's playing Boston.
Right.
Red Sox first to 3.
And I also mentioned that Atlanta has 3 against Washington starting tonight. The Nationals can win the division. Now, so the Nationals have to win 2 of those 3, and they will clinch the East. And if the Nationals do win 2 out of 3, that will help the Pirates out greatly for that last wild card, because Atlanta's falling. The Pirates are 4 games ahead of them in the loss column now. And you would really like to make it that when the Pirates go into Atlanta for that 4-game series next week, that those games don't mean anything.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. But Milwaukee over the weekend, I just hope that they don't run into one of them jinxes again with them.
Yeah, and I worry, too, about who they're going to be pitching. And the strange thing that's going to happen is that they've decided to pitch Charlie Morton tomorrow night, which is really a gamble. He hasn't pitched in a game in such a long time. I don't have the date. I'll find it. But, you know, all he's been able to do is pitch simulated games because there are no minor league games to go pitch in to get yourself sharp. And I'm not the greatest supporter of Vance Worley in the world, but this is a guy that's been pitching. He's got an ERA of less than 3.5, and he's been pitching well for you. And I don't understand the need to get Charlie Morton back in the rotation. Now, they might prove me wrong. I go out tomorrow and throw 5 or 6 good innings, and it'll look good. But I wonder about that decision and what went into it.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that myself. Okay, gentlemen, I'm ready for trivia.
Okay. Yours or mine?
It's me.
Okay.
Go ahead, Rich. Multiple choice?
Multiple choice.
All right. Let's see if you can add another one to your long list. What major league relief pitcher has the most blown saves in his career? And it's not Tony Watson. I want to throw that out there. What major league relief pitcher has the most blown saves in a career? Is it Randy Myers, Troy Percival, Rich Gossage, or Raleigh Fingers? The most blown saves.
Would that be Rich Gossage?
It would be Rich Gossage. You don't miss. Rich Gossage had 112 blown saves in his career, but if you add up all the saves that he did have, still a great career and a Hall of Fame career. Gossage is in the Hall of Fame. Raleigh Fingers is in the Hall of Fame. It's a short list of relief pitchers.
I think 4.
4, and Rivera will go.
Soon.
when he gets a chance, and maybe Trevor Hoffman. Lee Smith's not in the Hall of Fame, which is another interesting tidbit there. So we'll see how that works out.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
Rich.
Rich.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Okay. Let's go.
We have Paul.
Yeah. Paul, how you doing tonight?
Oh, not too bad. You?
Great.
Who's on your agenda for this week for
Yes, what's your
your top high school game?
Riverview at Greensburg Central Catholic again.
You're leaning toward the Centurions, aren't you?
My 99th game, high school game I'll be at. So,
99. So what's going to be number 100 next week?
probably Greensburg at Sarah. So.
Oh, okay. So you're
I wanted to go see Highlands and Apollo Ridge, but friends of mine wanted to see my nephew play because they said he might have a better chance playing in that game. So.
Oh, there you go.
But
what is the perspective for that game, Highlands and Apollo?
I don't know. I got to see Highlands and Katanning first. Well, everybody thought that Katanning was going to beat Apollo Ridge, and Apollo Ridge beats them 44-41 in overtime. Katanning scored 2 touchdowns and 2 two-pointers late to tie it. And then I talked to Katanning's AD today, Todd Harvey, and he told me that he thought that it's very possible that the Katanning kids maybe took Apollo Ridge lightly. Because Apollo Ridge coming up from single A, Katanning, and we talked about this, Katanning coming down from triple 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And Katanning undefeated in the conference a year ago. But they have athletes on Apollo Ridge. Trey Tipton's going to Pitt. He's fabulous. Dwayne Brown, the same thing, just a great athlete. And those two guys rushed for over 500 yards between the two of them in that game.
Oh, my God.
Monday night.
And Apollo Ridge has a good backup quarterback. He's thrown a couple of touchdown passes.
Right, and they'll bring him in, and they'll run Tipton out of Wildcat a lot, and then they have the other kid play. So, this is 2 big weeks in a row for Highlands, going to Katanning this week and then having Apollo Ridge at home next Friday.
Right.
And we'll see. It's pretty much the conference lies in the balance right there, and Shadyside kind of lurking right now. They've gone through and they haven't lost yet either.
Isn't it odd? Is Shadyside scores 60 on Burrow, but they give up 20.
Yeah, one guy had 6 touchdowns in that game, I believe.
Yeah, I forget his name right now, but I mean he is a fabulous back.
Right.
Yeah, Harris is the kid's name. But
Eric Harris. Thanks, Bill. Bill's got. See, this is how we learn these things. They think we're smart sometimes. No, they tell us in our ears when we don't know the answer, and then we have that. It's excellent. Well, I'll give you this one for Highlands. Highlands gave up 20 last week to West Shamokin. They gave up, I believe, 14 the first week to 13 to Ford City, 14 to Deer Lakes, and 20 to West Shamokin. Their first team defense hasn't been scored on. It's kickoff returns and the second teamers. So the Highlands first team defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown in 3 games.
Right. And what I saw on Friday, I think Clareton's going to win 2 or 3 more state football titles.
Well, you were telling me about their kickoffs with their.
Yeah, they score a touchdown, and then the kickoff to the other team. They onsides kick it, and they fall on it. They got to go 10 yards, but the other team usually touches the ball first and
doesn't pick up. And even if they don't get it, they figure their defense is good enough; they'll just stop them anyway.
And they did it at least 3 times on Friday. So
well, a lot of times, the A schools don't have guys that can kick so well. And I noticed, I wonder if they go for, there was a time when they would just go for 2 all the time.
Right.
You see a lot of Class A schools do that.
And then the halftime show, it was not Clareton only had 9 band members. And Greensburg had nothing, so it was a 9. That was the record, the smallest halftime show.
I was going to say, what'd you guys all do for entertainment?
You know what my pet peeve is?
We had West Shamokin's band had 32. I counted. I thought that was small.
We had a game not this past Saturday, but the week before when Monessen played at Riverview.
Yeah, Monessen's thing is small too. Band.
They did not bring a band.
I think it's one
halftime with Riverview's band only, 27 minutes.
Well, I think they have to.
They put 20 on the clock, and then when that's done, 3 minutes. That's 23. All right, but why? So why another 4?
No, I think I heard there's a rule. There's one road game you do not have to bring the band.
Really? Who come up with? Is that an Ace Heberling from way back rule?
I've heard that for years. there's one game you don't have to bring the band. One road game.
Well, it was funny with the Highlands convoy on Friday to West Shamokin. They brought 6 buses, and we said we don't think the West Shamokin School District has 6 buses. Band, cheerleaders, fan bus, team, 6 buses, and this was interesting. That Highlands had on their roster, and again, this is AA football now. Highlands on their roster had 65 players, and Bridget, the nice lady that was running the clock, told us out of the 65 players on Highlands team, that's West Shamokin's senior class was 65.
Wow.
And what happens is because they take a kid or two from Elderton. Since Elderton didn't have a football team, and they brought all these extra schools in that never played football, you have to count every single one of those kids onto your to what your classification is. And even though they're not there, or even physically there, that makes them a AA school with 65 kids in their senior class.
Wow. See.
That's.
Then I had one quick baseball question. Back when they had just like 8 teams in the American, 8 teams in the National, and only 1 team from each league made the playoffs.
That's correct.
Was there any complaints back then there should be more teams in postseason play, or was everyone satisfied with?
Don't recall ever hearing that.
Yeah,
In other words, they really made it a pennant race, and if you were, like the Pittsburgh Pirates, finishing always 4th, 5th, whatever, maybe even 8th at times back in the 50s. And if you had an injury to a couple of your key players, and you knew this was going to be a long haul, sometimes it was a signal to, grab a few folks out of the minors and,
I always wondered, like you would think, people would be complaining, at least 2 teams in each league, but.
And you would think too, some of those years where they could be runaways.
Right.
You would have no pennant races at all because there were only 2 that you could have. And Yankees might be 10 games ahead, by September 1st.
Here's the other factor. The fact that television has played such a big part in everything because of the money involved. You can bet all the tea in China that the television people, the networks, had something to do with it.
Driving the extra playoffs, exactly, because you get the extra playoff game. Even just the one game, like we saw it for the first time last year, that the Pirates played in and the American League game. You just have that one extra game. There's a lot of revenue they can make off of that. If it's a playoff game, it's an elimination game.
Yeah, back then you played everybody, 26 times a year?
Or something like that. It might have been 19.
22? Or
18 maybe.
There were 77 home and away,
7.
and you had 7 teams you played.
Played 22 times.
7 times 22, 11 at home, 11 away.
And you would think, hey, we're seeing the Mets again, or seeing this team 22, So I guess everyone was okay with that back then.
Well, you got to think about and the other thing too, before expansion, the quality of play had to be really good because think of how many guys are playing in the major leagues now with 30 teams that would have been in the minors then when there were only 25-man rosters of 16 teams. There were better players. Of course, the pitchers didn't throw like they throw now.
So it seems like everyone was satisfied the way baseball was back then.
I think.
Got to do trivia.
All right.
If you're ready.
Multiple choice.
And I guess it is my turn.
It is.
Okay. Follow along. This is a long question. Who coached his first NFL team the longest before he had a Super Bowl win with another team? Don Shula, Bill Belichick, Dick Vermeil, Tom Coughlin.
Just to guess, Dick Vermeil.
No, Paul. It was Coughlin. He had 8 seasons at Jacksonville before he had that Super Bowl with the New York Giants.
Okay.
So that's where we stand there. We thank you for your participation here tonight. We go for our final break. Mike and I will come back and kind of wrap things up.
Yes.
All right? Stay with us. Since 1914, the local area has relied on the Resevich family of funeral homes in deepest times of need. The Resevich family is the oldest established name in the funeral profession in the AK Valley, now 100 years strong and still doing things right. Its reputation and unquestionable service now continues with a fourth generation. The Resevich family of funeral homes, 5th Avenue Arnold and Leechburg Road in Lower Borough.
AKLC Studios LLC is the place for your video and multimedia needs. Let AKLC Studios produce a unique television commercial for your business. At your location or in our studios, we're here to meet your needs. Ever want your own television show? Let us show you how. AKLC Studios LLC can even tape your special events and weddings. Whatever your multimedia need, call AKLC Studios LLC in Leechburg today. Professional quality at hometown prices. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Visit 380 Auction and Discount Warehouse in Murraysville for low discount pricing and a huge variety of inventory that changes weekly. We have everything from new name brand furniture and mattresses to tools, automotive supplies, utility trailers, pet supplies, and all season merchandise. Plus, our lawn and garden center has the best variety of seasonal plants, shrubs, mulch, and more. It's all under one roof at discount prices. 380 Auction and Discount Warehouse is open Tuesday through Sunday in Murraysville. Call us or visit shop380.com.
All right, folks, you can have an opportunity over the weekend. Why not go out and support your local high school football team? I'll tell you what, pure entertainment. The kids are out there. You know, not only do they have to do homework, which the pros don't have to do. All right?
That is correct.
But they got to squeeze in all those practice sessions. If they belong to a club in high school, there's extra activity.
There's a lot of dedication that goes into playing football.
I give a lot of credit, and I'll tell you
and
what.
So many of those coaches aren't paid. That's a lot of volunteer work that goes on with those coaches, right. And that takes up a lot of your time.
I'm watching the Riverview Band this past Saturday, and they have 2 football players
in the band.
One with a saxophone, maybe both with a saxophone, is part of the band.
That's what this is supposed to be all about, by the way.
Just love those kids.
It's
but
a great night.
It's
a great night out. It's cheap and really.
Yeah, your popcorn might be $1 instead of $6.50.
Pick up your Valley News on Thursday and check the schedule in there, and you can find where you'd like to go. There are a lot of good games, so you could do that. Okay, Bob, question for you.
Yeah.
Steelers at Carolina Sunday night. What's the line?
Carolina plus, I'd say 7.
It's 3. Carolina by 3.
Are you kidding?
And the Pitt game, Pitt's a 6-point favorite over Iowa. That's my consensus Vegas picks out of the Vegas odds. So Carolina with a 3-point favorite against the Steelers, that's basically just home field advantage. So there's still enough respect out there for the Steelers in the betting public because, as we know, the line is set to get equal action on both sides. It's not necessarily what the odds makers think the final score is going to be.
Right.
It's what's going to get equal play on both sides by the betting public.
And the juice is in the middle.
And the juice is in the middle, and that's how they make. And you don't think they built all those palaces out there in Vegas by losing? No. There's an advantage built into the house always. Definitely.
Well, I'll tell you what. To the kids, and I'm not, picking on anybody in particular, but to the kids who not only play football, but any other sport, no matter what it may be, our hats go off to you. Thank you for the effort. A lot of this stuff ends in high school because you know that, college, it might be a little more intense study-wise, and you're not going to be involved. Let's face it, that.
You see a lot of tears on senior night, and just for those reasons.
Exactly.
They know that's the last time.
It didn't take you long to find that out. So, but congratulations to all the kids. Anyway.
That's true.
We're back again next week, same time, same station. God bless. I'm Bob Tatter.
I'm Mike Pavlik.
Good night. Thank you for watching Sportsline, brought to you by Ace Hardware, New Kensington, AKLC Studios in Leechburg, Arnold Furniture, 5th Avenue, Buffalo Bills, New Kensington, Fazio's Deli and Meats in Arnold, Highland Tire, Toronto and Natrona Heights, Mattio's Pizza and Subs, Brackenridge Heights, Resevich Family of Funeral Homes, Lower Borough in Arnold, 380 Discount Warehouse, Murraysville, Tower Auto in Blawnox, and Westmoreland Insurance Services of New Kensington.